Citizen 05 Logs is one of the best Valve ARGs out there. It's terrifying and very deep and saddening in some parts, and today I wanted to talk about it. It deserves way more attention, so if you are interested in the series, I beg that you check out Citizen 05 Logs channel. I even had the opportunity to interview the creator and ask some questions for this video that I will sprinkle along as I go. But I can start off with the first question I asked before getting into the first video. I asked, what inspired you to make this series? And they responded with, channels like The Survivor of All, Gunslinger Pro 2009, and Richter Overtime inspired me to make this ARG. Although this isn't actually my first project, my first attempt started with a poorly made machinima titled The Engineer Needs a New TV, which to this day, I'm still not proud of. That video has been ripped off the face of the planet according to creators, so we will never get to see that, sadly. But I think it's about time we start off with the first video in the series, and it is called Life in City 17. And the description of the video says this. Life in City 17 isn't as bad as everyone says it is. Thanks to City Protection for letting me keep my camera. Almost everyone else I know lost all their belongings when they entered the city.
Seem fit to suppress our reproductive cycle. Sincerely, a concerned citizen. Thank you for writing, concerned. Of course, your question touches on one of the basic future of the species.
Oh, I thought you were a cop.
I also detect some unspoken underlying your concerns, rather than try to answer it like these.
I told you they'd be coming for us next.
Just this once, I hope you're wrong.
Is instinct. Instinct was our mother when we were an infant species. Instinct coddled us, kept.
The video takes place from the perspective of, you guessed it, Citizen 05, and they seem to be simply just recording it with their camera in their apartment in City 17 before Combine arrive and the video abruptly ends. With that, we can move on to the next part in the series, called Hanging Around the City Rooftops, with a description. I managed to sneak out and get access to the rooftops near my apartment. I heard rumors that this is where they chased that Freeman guy out of the city. I hope he doesn't cause more trouble. It's made life here a little harder than it used to be. I really like the scenery here. The thing that I think this series does well in these first two parts is show off what normal life is for a citizen in City 17, and we'll see more of that as we go along. But it also highlights how well the source engine is at making people feel uneasy. The next part in the series is called, well, it's a string of numbers, and it's actually a code, and when translated, it says server error. The video has no description. This one takes us from a different perspective this time, with us viewing our main character here from the lens of different cameras around the city before when walking out in the street, he disappears into thin air. Another thing that I noticed, which could have just been an NPC spawning or was just in the dark, is that someone appears out of this dark area at the last second, making me wonder if Citizen 05 essentially just blipped in and out of reality. But that again could have been nothing. But either way, the question on everyone's mind right now is probably, where did he go? Well, in the next video called Day 1, Where Am I? We find out. Kind of. Citizen 05 falls out of the sky and lands in GM Construct. And before you guys say anything, just keep watching. I know GM Construct is in every Valve ARG, but there's more to this. Okay. Anyway. He decides to explore his surroundings, and in the description of this video it states, I had decided to head to the station to try and get some extra rations, but the line was too long, so I just figured I'd come back later. On my way back, my surroundings suddenly disappeared, and I was in the sky. I fell into a lake which broke my fall, but also my camera. I gotta see if I can fix it later. I have no idea what this place is, but I found a room behind a wall that seems like it could make a nice shelter, while I try to make sense of things. The next video in the series is called Day 3, Strange Things Are Happening. In this part, we see that Citizen 05 wakes up to find that the crates have been spilled all over the place outside, and the description states that they heard a large crash. The crates were filled with food and water. Along with this, the player finds a dead Dr. Kleiner model with the gravity gun. They try it out and mess with it. Also, you might have noticed that the title says Day 3. Well, it's because according to the description, that Day 2 was spent fixing the camera. But to end out the description, it says, there's so much happening that I don't understand. If anyone from City 17 or anywhere else can see this, I need some help. A couple questions came to my mind, and the first one was, where is this stuff coming from? It's filled with food and such, but was it to help out this person, or is this more of a dumping ground, or is it where more things that blip out of reality go? I'm leaning towards the blip, but we will see as we go along. Another question was, how is this person uploading their videos for anyone to see? And this one I asked the creator, and they stated that even Citizen 05 doesn't know how he can do it. It just kind of works. His camera never needs to be charged either. So this only made me speculate on the idea that someone else is uploading these videos from his camera for him. But I'm not too sure on that idea, but we'll have to see. The next video in the series is called Day 5 through 8, Learning to Fly Using My New Tool. Within this video, the character shows that they have moved away from the place in the wall to the bigger room above the dark room in Construct. We watch as the character attempts to fly around with a gravity gun, with glitches of the camera returning from the first day, meaning that the glitches could be tied more to where he is rather than it being broken. When they figure out how to fly, they discover a revolver on top of one of the buildings and show it off. Before we cut to the end where they are burning the body they discovered, the description states what they are doing in the video, but they also do say, I did find what looks like a revolver with a bunch of wires coming out of it. If anyone knows what the revolver I found might be, please tell me. I just can't figure out how to work it. Which, if it was my guess, it would have to be the iconic prop gun. The next part in the series is called Strange Message from the Radio. Day, ? With description, I've already forgotten what day it is. I've been here for what feels like weeks. Food hasn't been an issue. Every day when I wake up, there's more stuff outside. I tried to record it happening, but each night that I tried, the supplies didn't come. Last night after I went to sleep, my camera caught a weird message from the radio. This place is really starting to give me the creeps, but I don't know whether I should stay or try to leave.
Document.
This video proceeds to give us a code, and someone in the description luckily decoded the message already, and it says server error, NPC not recognized, document. Meaning that the Citizen 05, wherever he is now, he is not supposed to be there. On top of this, I asked the creator, are there any secrets in the videos that nobody has found or noticed so far? And if so, what video is it in? And they responded, people have done a good job of pointing out things, but there is one detail that people have yet to notice in the video. Strange message from the radio. You need to listen very carefully to even hope to catch it. I believe I caught it. At around 45 seconds, you can hear a footstep. 51851. Someone is here and they are watching Citizen 05. It also made me think about the prop gun and that maybe someone else has a prop gun and they are spawning these props to give to Citizen 05 possibly? I'm not sure. But anyway, we know that Citizen 05 has been here for enough time for them to be desperate to get out and lose track of the days. The ration problem in City 17 is the next part in the series in which we seem to be going back in time a bit. And I also asked the creator about this, and they said that we are not being told this story in a linear timeline. This seems to be perspective of Citizen 05 again, which they are walking around City 17 to get in line for rations. For around 1 minute into the video, this happens. We see G-Man for a split second. We notice how this also looks exactly like the scene that played out where they initially disappeared, but this time it seems like they don't. I don't know if that's intentional or if this is a different day, but it's interesting to note. But towards the end of the video, as they are walking, this happens. The code appears all over the screen, and then a video link. But that link does not work to my knowledge, so that's a bust. But the code that gets all over the screen is hexadecimal and translates to, "You are not real." All I can say is that I'm not sure who this comes from. It's either the G-Man watching over the Citizen or someone else entirely. Possibly a friend, but also maybe not. The next part in the series is called 0122-. And we seem to be back on construct, but something immediately feels off about this part. The POV has this darkish border around it.
Spy round here! Spy! Spy round here! Spy round here! Spy here! Spy round here! Spy round here! Spy! Spy! Spy here! Spy round here! Spy round here!
This part terrified me. We watched as Citizen 05 was teleported into TF2, where all the players are frozen. The players seem to be frozen, but at one point the sniper says spy here, almost as if they know something is off with the citizen being there. Along with this, we watch as the player notices a sniper's gun standing straight up, and of course at the end we see some horrifying monster in the spawn room, leaving us wondering what exactly is that thing. The next part is called 0123 dash, and continues from where we left off last.
Help!
We watch as Citizen 05 runs away before getting what almost looks like being abducted with a gravity gun. This guy can't catch a break for the life of him. But it also poses the question of who, again, took him. We also notice that this is the first time we hear them talk, with them yelling help at the end. The next part is called Taken. The only thing to say about this is it looks like we are not seeing from the perspective of Citizen 05's camera, but their eyes, with how distorted it is. But we also see how that he is woken up somewhere completely new, and he also grabs a gun. The next part of the series is called Anywhere But Here. The creators stated that this video is inspired by the Survivor of All video titled Journey to the City. I felt as though it wasn't obvious how much traveling the protagonist was doing and how alone he felt. And this one I just wanted to play in its entirety because it's very well made and quite beautiful, but also sad as well. have no idea where I am. After that thing took me, I've lost pretty much everything. I just want to be back in City 17. I found traces of actual people while on my travels. Maybe I'll be able to find a town with people soon. This shows us the long journey that Citizen 05 is going through as they travel in an unknown place, discovering bodies on top of bodies. This place almost seems like a graveyard for people like him. People that are brought into an unknown place and left to be killed or die. The next part in the series is called Some Things Are Hard to Forget. The description is, it took a whole month's worth of rations to bribe that cop, but he snuck me out of the city to go see her. Donnie said he would share this with me, so I won't starve. I'll have to make it up to him somehow. There's only one thing I'll never forgive the Combine for, and this is it. I could not tell if this takes place before or after everything that's happened so far, but if I can take a guess when it comes to this part, if this part takes place before everything, then we know that this is Citizen 05 visiting the grave of someone he knew that lived out of the city, but they were most likely killed by the Combine. Probably the person he loved, which is quite tragic. This story feels like the story of someone who's been trapped for a big chunk of their life and lost a lot, and hopefully develop into a story of someone finding peace within themselves. The next part is called Fire. And the description says, I keep deleting this video, but now it's here again. It shows up in my footage and I delete it only for it to appear the next day. I'm just going to give in and upload it. Maybe it'll leave me alone. I don't want to talk about what happened that night, so don't ask. That thing won't let me forget it. That's probably why this video is still here. This video shows Citizen 05 coming across a fire with bodies in it. And when he zooms in, it almost looks like the fire has his body in it, but it's hard to see through the distortion. Finally, he turns around to see the G-Man standing there and he catches on fire. I find it interesting that Citizen 05 only refers to the G-Man as that thing rather than that man, as if he knows he is something else entirely. The next video is called Creepy Audio. And the description says, I'm deleting the audio as soon as this uploads. It just freaks me out too much after the other video. It's just too much for me in one sitting. This video shows off a code, and this code was again translated by someone in the comments, and it says, danger, he knows, leave. I'm pretty sure this is directed at Citizen 05, but again, I'm not sure. The next part is called He Is Here, and the description says, I'm scared. For this part, we again see from what looks like to be the perspective of Citizen 05 and not his camera as he runs through the forest into the G-Man. The next video is called The Test, with no description. This part is interesting because we got some answers and more questions. First, the name of our protagonist is McKinley. Second, they ask the question, do you realize the people on the outside can hear us? And McKinley does not respond. The people on the outside are what I assume to be us, the viewer. Third, they ask whether or not he has seen the man with the briefcase, aka the G-Man, but the answer is no. It only makes me wonder whether or not Citizen 05 is lying because he is scared or doesn't remember. We learn of someone named Mark as well and how he's the key to something, and that Citizen 05 is labeled as an intruder, and anyone else who ends up in this position is also an intruder. The system also seems to be the villain in the story, whoever they may be, and I believe that the G-Man is connected to the system. We also see again, one more time, you are not real. Meaning that this is the group that told him you are not real previously. I believe one of the very important parts of the story is Mark, but as of now, we don't know who that is. The most recent upload in the series is called Forced Memories, with no description.
Mark, is everything okay? You've been really distant lately. I'm sure the Combine will take good care of us. Donnie said that they guaranteed Jamie's safety when they got moved. Everything will turn out fine, so please don't worry so much. Now hurry up and come eat, the pancakes are getting cold.
This part seems to take things to a whole different level. First, we see that Citizen 05 is knocked out before seeing the memory of this Mark person. And of course we see the G-Man at the last second. But the person speaking in this video says a name, Donnie, which was also a name mentioned in Some Things Are Hard to Forget. It's almost as if that video was not of Citizen 05, but of this Mark person. Although they do look very similar, but the colors they wear are different. Also, the burning character that looked like Citizen 05 could have been a warning to not find Donnie, because that person also looked like Donnie. Either way, the lives of these two characters are intertwined in some way, and all I know is that it seems to be that we are leading up to the meeting of these two characters. Either way, I'm excited to see how this story ends up, and I hope that we get some more answers in the future. Also, the creator confirmed that so far, comments on the videos by other users are not involved with the series unless the creator has directly replied to them. So yeah, again, go check out the Citizen 05 channel, which will be linked in the description, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.